Hey, what's up YouTubers, and welcome back to another Toddy Walnuts update video. Joining me today as always are the lovely ladies. I have the lights dimmed in here a little bit. It's late, we're in chill mode. I'm getting ready to go to bed after this video is done. So we're completely relaxed right now. But joining me is Miss Hannah, front and center, and little Miss Heidi in the background. So for this video today, I was able to pick up some more of the Scream Factory Blu-rays that were missing in my collection. I was able to fill quite a few holes. I got 30 new editions from Scream Factory, which I'm going to show first. I picked up a couple 4K collector's editions from Scream Factory. I got a couple of gifts from fellow YouTubers, which I'm actually going to do first before we get into the Scream Factory Blu-rays. A couple of great YouTubers have sent me some Christmas gifts and just friendship gifts, I guess, and looking forward to telling you guys about those and sharing the love for those channels. I also got an Arrow Video box set, which I wanted to get for a while. We'll open that up here on the channel. I got a couple of Steelbooks. So get yourself relaxed, get a beverage, get some snacks, get a blanket, put your slippers on. Dim the lights, light a candle. Let's go through and check out the movies I picked up over the last couple months. And obviously I'm a little bit rusty. I said over the last couple of months. I meant to say over the last couple of weeks, because it's been about 3 weeks since my last update video. So these have all been picked up over the last 3-4 weeks. And you know how we are as collectors. There's still stuff coming in the mail. So I actually have a couple of editions that are here now. I'm going to wait and show those in the next update video. But the first one here is a gift from a longtime friend of mine here on the channel. He's been a huge supporter of not only my channel, but he watches a lot of different guys' videos and leaves comments. He's one of the good guys out there in YouTube. I've known him for quite some time, and we've exchanged gifts back and forth over the last, several years. And this is from Chili Billy, and I'm going to read you a note that he sent to me. And I'm also going to leave the link down below. Chili Billy has been a really, really good friend to Toddy Walnuts, and I really appreciate him. I've told him that before. He's the kind of guy that would give you the shirt off his back if you didn't have a shirt of your own. If he had $1 in his pocket, he'd give you the $1. That's the kind of guy Chili Billy is. I really sincerely mean that, and I've been watching him for many years, and not only is he a great guy, a very nice guy, but he has an amazing collection. If you guys think my Scream Factory collection is pretty big, his is actually even bigger. And I don't think I've seen a better collection of Scream Factory than Chili Billy's. And I'll leave a link down below, and you can go check out his, not only his channel, but you can check that link for that video when he did a overview video for his Scream Factory stuff. I really recommend you guys to go check that out and make a new friend and show him some love and support. Give him some thumbs up, give him a comment, definitely subscribe. But before I read the letter, I'll tell you how this whole thing happened here with these 2 movies that he sent to me. When I was watching his Scream Factory collection, he had a couple of doubles in his collection that I didn't have, and one of them was called the Manster. These are the old kind of creature feature. Well, I'll talk more about that in a second. But he had 2 of those, and this is now out of print, and I've seen this go for like $35 to $50. So when I saw that he had 2 of them, I commented on his video. I always try to comment on his videos. I do watch him quite a bit. He's one guy that I don't miss the videos. Every time he uploads, I always watch them. He's very knowledgeable about his movies. So he had 2, and I said, "Hey, Chili Billy, can I buy one of those off you?" And he said, "No, I want to give it to you as a gift." And I was like, "Wow, well, okay. I'm definitely going to get you something back." And he said, "Do you have this one too, The Night of the Creeps, with the slipcover? This is also out of print." and I didn't have it. And I said, can I give you some money for it? He said, no, I won't have it. I'm just going to send these to you as a gift. And I thought that was amazing. And that's just the kind of guy that he is. You know, he's really good like that. And I'm proud to have him as a friend. So he wrote a note here, and it says, hi, Todd. Here are the 2 items that you asked for. What does that say? Oh, to add to your Scream Factor collection. The flash on my camera is kind of washing out the words. Your good friend, Chili Billy. So that is really awesome. Thank you very much for that, Chili Billy. And these are the 2 movies. I asked for this one. I wanted to buy this one. He gifted it to me as well as the next one too. But these are really great black and white creature feature type movies. It says, see the 2-headed killer creature. You can see that artwork is amazing. It's really, really good. The Manster, he's half man, half monster. The Manster. And like I was saying, this one is now out of print. Quite a few of the ones I'm going to be showing today are out of print, but they're still very affordable. They haven't gone into that astronomical number where they're 2 or 3 times what we were asking for. So you may want to jot down some titles that I'm going to be talking about today and make a list of the ones that you might want to look for and go check out. I would start out on Amazon. You can find a lot of these still on Amazon and for a good price. But try not to give in to these scalpers. I mean, make that be your last resort, because some of those guys are just ridiculous. So this one is from 1962. And I haven't watched this one yet. There's quite a few that I've been picking up lately, just trying to fill in the holes that I've been missing. So I did get 30 titles in this update video for that. So thank you very much for that, Chili Billy, as well as Night of the Creeps. Hit 2 of these as well. This is with the slipcover, and this is a 2-disc set. And the slipcover for this one is now out of print, and it's hard to find. They're not hard to find. I shouldn't say that. You can find them, but they're much more expensive now than they were before they were sold out. So you can go on eBay and find these, but you expect to pay a little bit more for that. So that is from my buddy Chili Billy. I'm going to leave his link down below. Thank you very much again for that, Chili Billy. I have a couple things in mind for you. I think you're going to like them. I'm going to be sending you a few things here in about a few weeks. So I'll let you know when to keep an eye out for that. So let's get into the next gift. And the next one here is Terrifier 2, the 4K Ultra HD plus the Blu-ray. And this was a gift from my friend Let Us Play. He's another very fine gentleman. He's been a friend of mine for many years now. And not only has he been a consistent supporter of my channel, but he's been a good friend to me over the years. We communicate through WhatsApp. We just kind of keep in touch. There's a couple of other YouTubers out there or friends out there, you know who you are, that we keep in touch on WhatsApp, and I really enjoy that. And it's always good to kind of keep in touch with your good people. I have a very small inner circle, and once you're inside that inner circle, I'm a very loyal friend, and I feel the same way about these guys. I'm not going to get into who's all in that circle, but some really, really good dudes. And Let Us Play, I'm going to leave his link down below. He has, I guess you would consider it a variety channel. Okay, so he does movie reviews sometimes. He does trailer reviews or trailer reactions. He does a bit of gaming on his channel. He's a very good gamer, and he plays some excellent games. A lot of open world, sword and sorcery, I would say, like The Witcher, if you guys are familiar with that, or Skyrim, Fallout 4, Fallout 76. He does a little bit of everything, and he's really good. He's another guy who's very knowledgeable about his movies too. So I would recommend you guys to check him out. I'll leave the link down below. Go over to him and subscribe to him. Make a new friend. Leave him a couple of comments and tell him, hey, Toddy Walnut sent me, and just checking out your channel, and make a new friend. So, but Let Us Play bought me, or gifted me, or had sent to me the Terrifier 2, which I still haven't watched yet, I know, and I haven't watched Halloween Ends yet either. So what kind of a horror fan am I, right? But I've been really busy with work, and then when I come home from work, I've been playing Fallout 76 quite a bit lately. So yeah, that's my own fault, I guess. But I am going to definitely be watching this one soon. Check out this awesome slipcover too. Man, that's really awesome. And then here is the 4K. Love that art, that artwork there. I love that Art the Clown and artwork. Hey, love that art. But you get, let's see here. This is the Blu-ray. And this is the 4K. I don't think there's a reversible cover, but we don't really need that. I mean, this is a really awesome edition. And I'm sure many of you have seen this by now. I'm curious, without any spoilers, if you've watched this before, what would you give it on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being the best movie you've ever seen in your life, 1 being the worst. I'd be curious just to hear what you guys think about this movie. So that is it for the gifts. Thank you very much to my friend Chili Billy, and thank you very much to my friend Let Us Play. I'm going to link both of their channels down below. They both deserve more subscribers, guys. Let's go give them, you know, give them some subs and some appreciation and some thumbs up and all that good stuff. Everybody likes to have more subscribers and more thumbs up and more interactions. So those are 2 channels I recommend. Go check them out. I guess before I put the Terrifier 2 away, this was the one that Let Us Play gifted me. I also have the Steelbook that was a Walmart exclusive. So this is a nice little companion piece. I'm going to keep the Steelbook sealed, and I'm going to use the 4K as a viewing copy. So it's really good, really cool. Okay, so those 2 gentlemen are the kind of people who make YouTube still fun. You know, a lot of social media to me has really gone down the toilet over the past, I don't know, 5-10 years. But YouTube is still pretty strong, and it's because of guys like that, like I just talked about. So I'm going to pull from piles here, and I'm just going to randomly pull. These are in no order. They're not by genre or year or anything like that. The first one here is called Bad Moon, and I just want to add too that these 3 piles here were issued without slipcovers. So these were never issued with slipcovers. These are how they came. So I've been trying to whittle away at these and knock these out before I start going for some of the bigger titles that I missed that have slipcovers, because those are obviously more expensive. So I think on average for these 3 piles I paid probably about like $20 to $22 a piece. Some were a little bit cheaper, like maybe 17, and some were a little more expensive, like maybe 26, but on average about 22 bucks a movie. First one here is called Bad Moon, and this is a werewolf movie. Half man, half wolf, total terror. Popped this one in the other night. I had seen it before in the past. It's a pretty decent werewolf movie. It's not great by any means, but it's fun, and it definitely kind of held up, and it was enjoyable to watch it again. This one came out in 1996. So this is kind of a more modern take on the werewolf genre, I guess. Mariel Hemingway, is that her name? Yeah, Mariel Hemingway. It was her name. That's her right there. Good movie. Glad to have it. Picked that one up pretty cheap. Let me move some of this stuff over a little bit. The next one, this is a Larry Fessenden movie. I really enjoy Larry Fessenden as an actor and as a director. I really wanted to love this movie. I did a little bit of research before I started watching this, and some people were calling it Friday the 13th on a boat, and it, as ridiculous as that sounds, I can kind of see where they were coming from. I'm not going to give anything away in the movie. I'm just going to tell you guys some of the things I liked and didn't like about it. The creature, the big fish, was awesome. I thought it looked really good. It was obviously a big rubber fish in the water. I thought they did a good job with it. The characters were not very likable. There was one character in particular I did not care for, and they purposely made him that way because you have kind of a boat full of misfits. So you have the blowhard. He's a jock, and he thinks he's God's gift, and so he was the one I didn't really care too much for. Then they had a nerd, I guess, kind of a nerdy guy. He was kind of a self-proclaimed nerd, so I'm not really, picking on him in that regard, but he kind of calls himself a nerd, and he carries around a camera and he videotapes everything that's going on. There was a brother of the jock, and he was kind of always came in second place to his brother, so there was some of that kind of sibling rivalry. The older brother, the jock brother, was always kind of number one in everything. He was a good-looking guy. He had he was always good in sports and stuff like that. His little brother always came in second no matter what, and there was a little bit of animosity there between those two. And then there was a kid who was kind of like the hippie, and he knows that there's a terrible secret in this lake, and he doesn't tell anybody about it. And then there's the lead character, female, who all these guys have a crush on. All three of the guys on the boat are in love with this girl, and she was awful. She was really awful. She was on the homely side. I shouldn't even be talking about this like that, but her acting was awful. She must have been somebody's daughter that got in. It was either Fessenden's, maybe it was his niece, or it was one of the producer's daughter or something. I doubt we'll ever see her again in anything else. She was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. I would give this movie about a 4 out of 10. I really wanted to love the movie. If you guys remember him, his name, hold on, give me a second here. He played Shadow in Scarface, the original Scarface with Al Pacino, not Scarface with Edward G. Robinson, not that one from the 30s, but Scarface with Tony Montana. He was Shadow. He was kind of the hitman for I can't remember the drug lord's name now. He had a pretty good part. His name is Mark Margolis, and he had a pretty good part. But all in all, I think this movie fell flat, and I would never watch it again, probably. So I think a movie like this would probably do much better if it had a remake, and you can just kind of cancel out all the things that were pretty bad in this one, which would be you would have to start from scratch pretty much and do it all over again. This one came out in 2013, and that's, it's hard for me to say that because I really do love Larry Fessenden. I think he's a great director. He's funny in the things he does. He's a good actor. But that's beneath, and 4 out of 10 for me. It's pretty bad. Now, this one, on the other hand, is Final Exam. This was a slasher from the 1980s. And the last time I saw this was on DVD, but prior to that I watched it on VHS, and now I have it on Blu-ray, and I popped it in about probably a week ago now. I really enjoyed this. This one still holds up. It's a good slasher. It's entertaining. There's pretty good kills. It's not very gory or bloody, but I guess you don't really need that. You don't have to have that to have an effective movie. It's from 1981. It definitely has that 80s vibe, right? It has the clothing and the vehicles and the hairstyles and stuff like that. It was definitely a fun movie. Killer was pretty cool, pretty plain. It was kind of a plain Jane killer, but just his, the shadowy presence of him really kind of, had you on the edge of your seat. So, and he had a pretty good death scene at the end of that one. I enjoyed it. So the next one, I also have this on DVD, and I have it on Blu-ray Steelbook, and now I picked up the special edition Blu-ray. This one's still very cheap. I think this one was under 20. I think this was around 17 bucks. And eventually when these go out of print, you're going to have to pay 30, 40 for them. And these are not the kind of movies I really want to spend $30 or $40 on. So another killer fish that get contaminated by, I believe it was a nuclear power plant, and if I'm not mistaken, it's been a while. Some kind of a laboratory or something. Let me see here. Hold on. Where waters got contaminated and turned these fish into bloodthirsty monsters. Roger Corman, cult classic. And then I also picked up Piranha 2, and this one was still very cheap. This one was under 20. This is Piranha 2, The Spawning. Some more of the silliness of these fish. And I honestly, I don't think I've ever seen part 2, at least not the whole thing. I may have popped in on Up All Night. What was that? USA Up All Night, or some of those old monster movie channels back in the day. But this is a 2K scan of the movie from 1981. When did the first Piranha come out? Let me see here. 1978. So this came out, and then 3 years later, 1981, was the sequel. I know there have been some unofficial sequels beyond this. There was like a Piranha 3D or Double D or something like that. But yeah, these are fun little popcorn movies. Just, you know, you don't have to do much thinking. Just pop it on and eat popcorn and have fun watching. Even do like a little twin billing of these one night. All right, I'm going to pause it here and we'll keep going. Okay, moving right along, we have the Blu-ray DVD combo pack of Willard, a boy and his killer rat. And it says, this is Willard and his friend Ben. Ben will do anything for Willard. Yeah, so Ben is the rat. And this was the first part. This is Willard. There was a sequel called Ben. This one came out in 1971. Has Ernest Borgnine in it. He was always a great actor. Always loved Ernest Borgnine. And Bruce Davison was Willard in the movie. You get the Blu-ray DVD. Here's the Blu-ray with Ben. And there's Willard DVD. Let's see if we can see the scene in the background. There's Ernest Borgnine. Everybody's kind of losing their cool, trying to figure out what's going on with this. These are good little movies, and I was glad to pick these up. Still pretty cheap. And then the sequel was Ben, from, like I said, from 1972. It says, where Willard ended, Ben begins, and this time he's not alone. And there has been a remake of Ben starring Crispin Glover, which I still need to track down. I got to grab that one still too. But this is also a Blu-ray DVD combo. Here's the Blu-ray. There's the DVD. And we can see a little still frame from the picture. And rats, you know, as creepy as rats are, and they do carry disease, they're very intelligent creatures. Very, very smart. So that is Willard and Ben, another kind of a twin billing you can pop in on a weekend. And then maybe the next day you can watch Piranha and Piranha 2. The next one here is called Let's Scare Jessica to Death. And this is one I have not watched yet. This is a movie from 1971. It says it's an impressively creepy little horror film. Released from an institution after suffering a nervous breakdown, Jessica seeks the tranquility of a secluded home in Connecticut to help make her recovery complete. But instead of a restful recuperation with her husband and close friend in the New England countryside, Jessica soon finds herself falling into a swirling vortex of madness and supernatural. Sold. I'll watch that. And they do have some special features here. There's a new audio commentary with the co-writer and director and producer. You get a new interview with the composer and a new interview with the film historian Kim Newman. And a location featurette. Those are always really fun when they go and show where the film was originally filmed and then what it looks like today. I really enjoy those. Those are great. So that is Let's Scare Jessica to Death. And we'll keep moving along here. The next one is called The Bat People. This one's out of print. I think I paid around $25 for this one, plus shipping. So probably close to $30 for this. But check out that cover, man. After the sun has set and the night wind has died, comes the hour of the Bat People. Really, really good. This is a movie from 1974. Half man, half bat, all terror. From director Jerry Jameson. And you also get a Mystery Science Theater 3000 episode, It Lives by Night. Those are pretty fun too. Those MST 3000 clips are awesome. I think I grabbed a second copy of this on accident. I picked this up on Hamilton Book. I think it was only like $5 or $6. I accidentally grabbed a second copy of it, so I'll be willing to trade it at some point if somebody needs it. But this is Monster on the Campus. These covers are amazing to me. I love these. These are what the old lobby cards used to look like in the old posters. Back in the day, way back in the day, like in the 50s and 60s, you didn't see a lot of commercials on TV for movies like this, so a lot of their advertising was posters and lobby cards and word of mouth. So if you had awesome posters, chances are it would drag people in to want to watch it. A Monster Born in a College Lab. This one came out in, let me see here, 1958. Look at that rubber suit. But those are fun to me. It has a sort of a charm to it. You know, I mean, practical effects and special effects these days have grown by leaps and bounds compared to what they were in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, even 80s. I mean, the things that they can do today are nothing short of amazing. That's why going back and watching some of these old movies is kind of charming to see how they kind of got things done back then. This one's called The Leopard Man. Women alone, the victims of a strange, savage killer. Another black and white one. This one's from the 40s, I think. I can't quite see. Oh, okay, 1943 for this one. Right during the heart of World War II. It says it's a film that's as much a mystery as a horror film, and which has become justly famous for a tense chase scene. I don't think I've ever watched this one, and I don't remember ever hearing anybody talk about this one. This might be a little hidden gem. We'll have to check it out and see. Next one's called The Monolith Monsters. Mammoth skyscrapers of stone thundering across the earth. Can you imagine that? A big monster made of stone? How horrifying would that be? 1957. You get new audio commentary with author and film music historian too. Yeah, you get some pretty good stuff. And it's good that Scream Factory is releasing movies like this on Blu-ray that other companies probably wouldn't do. And then on top of that, they're giving you new updated bonus materials. That's really great. I picked up a Return to Salem's Lot. Vampire movie. Check that out. This one's from 1987. This was a creepy movie. It says, in this sleepy town, there's no rest for the living or the dead. Look at that. Practical effects. Very, very good. I picked up Contamination Point 7. I believe this was $2 or $3 on Hamilton Book. You guys might want to go check that out. It might be sold out now. I think they were just trying to get rid of these, and it was either $1.95 or $2.95 for this movie, Contamination Point 7. I think this also has a Blu-ray release by Arrow Video too. This one came out in 1991. A new kind of monster, a living, lethal organism that strikes its victims without warning. Evil awaits in the woods. So that's pretty good. That's pretty cool. I mean, well worth the money. I would have even paid $15-20 for that. But if you're going to give it to me for $2 or $3, I'll take it. Here's a Hammer movie, Scars of Dracula, starring Christopher Lee. Very good cover. Christopher Lee was very good at playing Dracula. It's hard to choose between Christopher Lee and Bela Lugosi, who would you guys pick for your, who's your favorite Dracula between those two guys? Comment down below. Be interested to hear from you guys. I'm gonna put my money on Christopher Lee, but I know there's a lot of people that would pick Lugosi, and there's no wrong answer here whatsoever. So this one came out in 1970. And you can watch it in 2 aspect ratios, 1.661 and 1.851, and you get new audio commentary again. So they're not just re-releasing stuff, they're at least trying to add a little bit to it. This is another one that was really cheap on Hamilton Book. This is Robert Englund in Danse Macabre, or Danse Macabre, however you decide to say it, you're not wrong. And this one came out in 1992. Look at that young, handsome Freddy Krueger. Again, you get new interviews and new audio commentary here. I believe this one was also out of print, so you might want to go to Hamilton Book and pick that up for a couple bucks before it's gone. Here's one called Fangs of the Living Dead, starring Anita Ekberg. These are really good. These vampire movies are really, really good with the seduction and the vampire babes. I think those are really interesting and entertaining. And this one came out in 1969, and it's a great cover too. All right, I'm going to pause it here. We're going to get into the next pile. Okay, the next one here is called The Mole People, another beautiful cover. From a Lost Age, horror crawls from the depths of the earth. Look at that cover, man. That would be a great theatrical poster. And this movie came out in 1956. You can see it's black and white. Look at that monster. It looks ridiculous, but at the same time, it's very, very interesting and cool. I like it. I think it looks great. The next one here, the first time I saw this was on VHS years ago. This is called American Gothic. And that is Yvonne DiCarlo, who was Lily Munster in the original The Munsters show. And the guy is Rod Steiger. He was always kind of a stoic, kind of a tough guy. He played, well, he was kind of an older guy, but he kind of played like the no-nonsense kind of old school type old guy in the movies that he played in. He's always a very good actor. But this movie was really creepy. This family was nuts. They lived on an island. I watched this again too. It had probably been over 20 years since I saw this on VHS, and I just watched this recently on Blu-ray. It still holds up. It's still pretty good. Still pretty good. Also, Michael J. Pollard is in here. Let me see if I can find a picture of him. You guys will recognize him from House of a Thousand Corpses. He was. They were making sport of him. What was his name? Little Dick Wick or something like that. Plays with this prick. Doesn't he make you sick? I can't remember how the little rhyme went, but they were kind of messing with him at Spalding's gas station and fried chicken shop. But you guys would probably recognize Michael Pollard if you saw him. But I didn't see him in here, though. So I think I just showed you this, but I kind of... Wait, I think that is him. Yeah, that is Michael Pollard. Spoiler alert, you can see that he has something slammed into the side of his head, and you can't really see it that well, but... Yeah, he was a great actor. He had recently passed away within the last couple of years, Michael Pollard. So, the next one here is called The Reptile. The dreaded curse of the Orang Sancto turned her into a slithering snake. Look at that cover, man. That's amazing. That is cool. 1966. What strange power made her half woman, half snake? You have to watch the movie and find out. And you can watch this in 2 different aspect ratios, 1.66 and 1.85. You get new audio commentary. Another Hammer movie. This is one I have not seen yet. This is called Body Parts. I think Jeff Fahey is in here. Let me double check. Where does evil live? The heart, the mind, or the flesh? I don't know if this is a body torture movie. I haven't watched it yet. Yep, Jeff Fahey is in here. He is. And it's produced by Frank Mancuso Jr., directed by Eric Red. Movie from 1991. From Eric Red, the writer of The Hitcher and Near Dark, comes the tale of a medical experiment gone very, very wrong. And that looks like, what's his name? The guy that plays the voice of Chucky. I can't think of his name now. Brad Dourif, I think. Is that him? Yeah, it is Brad Dourif. Looks like an interesting movie, so I snatched it up. This is another one, another zombie movie called The Plague of the Zombies. I think this might be another British movie, but that cover is amazing. Yeah, it's a Hammer film, so it's from Great Britain. And this one came out in 1965. Check that out. That's awesome. This looks like it'd be really good. It's a Hammer chiller about zombies, highly atmospheric, often imaginatively directed, and boasts really classy photography and an outstanding performance from Jacqueline Pearce. In a remote 19th century Cornish village, an evil presence lurks within the darkness of the witching hour. Man, that sounds awesome. It looks really good. Next one is called Island of Terror. Take a look at this. They lived by eating human bones and threatened to consume the world. Peter Cushing. Of course Peter Cushing's in here. He's in every movie. Island of Terror has a fantastic ending, genuinely exciting. So it's a tranquil, tiny island off the coast of Ireland is suddenly rocked by a mysterious death of a local farmer who was found in a cave with not a trace of bones in his body, a horrible, shapeless mass. Wow. So they weren't kidding when they said they'll eat their bones. And this one is one I wanted for a while. This one's out of print. This is starting to get a little more pricey, so if you don't have this one, not to fear, because Arrow Video is releasing one, the same movie, on their label in February, which I have that pre-ordered already. This is a good movie. I recommend it. Or if you don't want to wait for the Arrow Video Blu-ray in February, which is only a couple weeks away now, you can still find this on eBay, or I think Amazon might still have this, and I think it was around $30 for this one. This is Bill Paxton in The Vagrant. It's a horror movie, but it does have some undertones of comedy in it. It's a horror comedy, but I guess it's more horror than comedy. Kind of a dark comedy, I guess. He's not home alone. Bill Paxton, The Vagrant. This one came out in 1992. Yep. A horror comedy that works. It's crazy, offbeat, and funny. So that is the end of the, I guess, regular Amaray cases. I'm going to pause it here and show you guys some of the 4K movies I picked up. And then we're going to get into a box set from Arrow Video, and I'll show you guys a Steelbook that I picked up. Okay, moving right along here. We're making pretty good time. This is the 4K Ultra HD and Blu-ray Collector's Edition of Black Christmas. Even these are still pretty cheap. I I don't bother pre-ordering these or ordering them from Scream Factory anymore because it seems like they're the most expensive and it's their own product. I don't get that. But I don't really need the posters because, I mean, the posters are great. Don't get me wrong. I think that's a great thing that they have going. They, you know, they give you the movie in a poster if you order early enough. And those posters are amazing. I just don't have any room whatsoever for posters anymore. So instead of paying, you know, like $35 to $40 or $45 for this to be shipped from Scream Factory, I just go on Amazon and pick this up for $27. And this is it's still sealed. It comes with a slipcover. And everybody knows about Black Christmas, so I really don't have to say much more about this, but just check out all those special features. It's a 3-disc set. So on disc 1, you get the feature film in 4K, ultra high def. Disc 2 is the feature film on Blu-ray. And disc 3 is a special features Blu-ray. So this is a really nice set. Believe it or not, this was directed by Bob Clark, who also directed A Christmas Story with Ralphie. You'll shoot your eye out, kid. Red Ryder BB gun fame. Both movies by the same guy. I wouldn't lie to you. The next one here is Army of Darkness, 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray Collector's Edition. Excellent cover. Classic. And this is a 4-disc set. This was under $30 as well. It was probably about $26 or $27 on Amazon. So disc 1, you get the theatrical cut in 4K. Disc 2, you get the theatrical cut in Blu-ray. Disc 3, you get the director's cut Blu-ray. And disc 4, you get the international cut Blu-ray. So that's really good. Really, really good. And this is a classic. Another kind of a tongue-in-cheek horror comedy. More comedy, I guess. Then I picked up Chucky from Child's Play, 4K Blu-ray Collector's Edition. I still got to get the other ones. I'm not really in a hurry to get those, though, and if I don't get them, it's not going to be the end of the world for me. I'm just not the biggest Chucky Child's Play fan. I think the first one's okay for what it is. You know, it's good, it's funny, it's, you know, it's a good horror movie, but as it went on, it got more and more and more ridiculous. But this is a 3-disc set also. You get the disc 1 is the feature film on 4K. Disc 2 is the feature film on Blu-ray. And disc 3 is special features Blu-ray. Well, these are really nice editions, though. They're heavy. There's a little heft to them. They're nice and glossy. Slipcovers look really good. Artwork is awesome. And of course, I had to grab this one. I think just about everybody's going to grab this one. This is the 4K Ultra HD and Blu-ray Collector's Edition of The Return of the Living Dead. They're back from the grave and ready to party. Great cover, though, by the way. It's a classic. Very, very good. Another 3-disc set. So disc 1 is the 4K movie. Disc 2 is the Blu-ray movie. And disc 3 is the Blu-ray special features. Look at all those special features. That's amazing for movies like this to have all that extra love and attention given to a movie like this. That's great, man. So I'll do a really quick recap of the 4K titles that I picked up. Then we're going to go put some of this stuff away. And I'll get into the last few things I'm going to show you guys. Let me know what you've picked up recently on 4K from Scream Factory. Let me know what I'm missing or what you would recommend I pick up. So there are the 4 that I recently got. Okay, so I recently picked this up. I knew I had to have this. This is Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, loosely based on the killing spree and crimes of Henry Lee Lucas and Otis Toole. And this one stars Michael Rooker as a very young and unknown actor from his time, from back then. I believe this was from the 70s, but let me double check that. There's a lot of really good stuff in here, and I'm going to actually put this on hold because I'm going to show you guys this last tonight. I just wanted to show you really quick. It's still sealed, but I'm going to pull that apart and we're going to go through it. I wanted to show you my newest addition to the Friday the 13th Steelbook collection. They've been putting out some really good Steelbooks for Friday the 13th, and they're up to part 4 now, which was just released recently. I just got this in the mail a couple days ago. And that's part 4, the final chapter. It's a really good cover. And then the other 3 that I have, these are all theatrical poster covers. So there's part 1, part 2. Again, I got this on Amazon, and I think it was about $10 for this one. But you have to be careful because they do ship these in bubble mailers, so there's not exactly a whole lot of protection. There's a little bit of bubble and plastic protecting that, but you don't really want to risk that. I mean, if it would have been damaged, I would have sent it back and got a new one. But anytime I order something like that from Amazon, I hold my breath until it gets here. But so you got part 1, part 2, part 3, and these are great. These are really, really good. So I was glad to get part 4. So let's check out Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Okay, so I just looked this up, and boy, was I off by quite a bit. Usually I'm not off this bad. I thought this movie was from the 70s, but it came out in 1986. I'm not off usually that bad. Usually I'm only off by a year or more, a little bit more. But this one's still in cellophane, and we're going to peel this off. I'm going to go through and get this one. You guys will have to let me know if you've ever seen this movie. If you haven't, I strongly recommend checking it out, especially if you're a true crime buff. And, you know, it's a beautiful box set, so I strongly recommend grabbing this one. It has kind of a matte finish. There you can see Michael Rooker, who plays Henry in the movie. This movie was filmed in New York, and it does have that kind of gritty, grimy New York setting to it. I don't mean any disrespect when I say gritty or grimy. It's just New York, especially for some of these horror movies that came out in the 70s and 80s, like Maniac, Q the Winged Serpent, Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. New York City definitely has a kind of a scary vibe to it, especially at night, especially some of the back alleys and some of the shady neighborhoods, I guess you could say. And this movie is exactly like that. So you've got a nice outer shell, hard outer shell for the box there. Yeah, this is definitely a gritty, kind of a grimy New York feel to it. You feel like you need a shower after you're done watching this, because not just of New York City, but the characters in this movie and the subject matter of this movie, it's just very, very unnerving, I guess you could say. But there's a lot here to go through. So there's a booklet here we're going to go through, or a book. What is this? There's a couple books here. Wow. And then you got a poster. Let me see if I'll pull that out last. First we'll go through the movie, and then we'll kind of flip through the books. But there you have the black case, 4K Ultra HD, filmed by John McNaughton. I'm not familiar with his work. I don't know what else he may have done. This is Region B Locked. It is a 3-disc set. You get a 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray, and you get, or am I reading that wrong? It's a 2-disc set, and disc 2 is a bonus disc on Blu-ray. So it is a 2-disc set. It looks like you get some lobby cards here too. A lot of stuff to show here. Wow. So you get the advertising card for Edge of Sanity, starring Anthony Perkins. You get the first disc here, which is the disc 1 feature and extras on 4K. And disc 2 is the bonus features on Blu-ray. And the reversible cover is what the DVD cover looked like in the US, and I do have it on DVD. Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. I'll put that away off camera. I don't want to wreck it, but this is a really nice heavy set. They really give you a lot of stuff here. So there's Michael Rooker, who plays Henry, and then his bloodthirsty. This whole story was really wacky, and the real life story was even worse than this movie. I don't really want to get into all the details here, but these two guys were worse than the devil, I guess. I mean, the way that they just butchered people. And after a while, after Henry Lee Lucas was caught, he was just confessing to everything because he liked attention. I really recommend checking out the actual documentary about Henry Lee Lucas and Otis Toole. It'll turn your stomach, but it's very interesting, very bizarre. And these cards are very nice and thick. They have kind of a matte finish. Has a nice ink smell to them. See what I mean about the kind of like the dark and dreary kind of New York setting. There's a lot of night scenes in this movie. There's a couple of bridge scenes. They go under underground tunnels, and for the road. New York has kind of a unique road system down there. There's a lot of different tunnels and bridges and overpasses and stuff, and you get to see a lot of that in this movie. A lot of the night lights and stuff. Oh. Otis Toole was played by Tom Towles, who you guys may remember was in the remake of Night of the Living Dead. And he was in other movies too. He had worked with Rob Zombie on a couple of his movies, and Tom Towles had passed away a few years ago now. But I'm going to pause it here for a minute, put some of this stuff back, and then we'll go through the books. Okay, I'm going to try not to spend too much time here, but here is the Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer book about the movie. So you get the contents of a cast and crew, the making of a low-budget classic, Henry Lee Lucas, Portrait of the Real Serial Killer. You know, I wonder if they have the documentary about Henry Lee Lucas. Let me take a look here. If not, you guys can always go here on YouTube and check it out. Very, very weird stuff. But yeah, I'll just kind of flip through. It looks like this is a little over 50 pages, and very, very high quality as always. Arrow is always very high quality. So yeah, there's a lot of write-ups, a lot of stills from the movie. And we have a original storyboard about the movie. At first I thought that was signed, but it looks like it's just a print. But you do get almost kind of like a comic book style panels of what they were going for the movie. This is really cool. I think this is amazing for a throw-in on a box set like this. And this box set was really cheap too. I think I paid about $24, $25 for this on Amazon, and it was delivered free. So man, this was a steal for me. I really recommend grabbing this if you guys haven't picked it up already. That's amazing. So I'm going to pause it here one more time. I'm going to pull a poster out, and then we'll wrap this up. Okay, so that is what the first side looks like, or second side, depending on how you want to look at it. And this is the new poster art that Arrow Video is using. Looks really good. So that's gonna do it for my update video, my first video for the new year 2023. Hope you guys are doing well. I hope everybody has a great year this year. You guys deserve it. Things have been weird over the last couple of years, and oh, you know what? I can probably show you this too. I did recently pick this up. It's kind of movie related, but it's not a horror movie. If you guys have ever seen the movie The Never Ending Story, you know that there's a luck dragon in the movie named Falkor, and this is supposed to be a baby Falkor. It's really good, really highly detailed. So I picked that up. I love that movie, and I just wanted to pick it up. I thought that looked adorable. So we lost Miss Heidi, so it's just me and Hannah here in the Walnuts compound. We hope you guys are doing well. Take care. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Later.